Hey guys, so I just got home from my Melanie Martinez concert, and honestly, I was really going in. I had high expectations going into it, and I was really hoping for the best because I loved her. I call myself a crybaby. I have all the merch and stuff. Like I listen to the album 24/7. So I had really high expectations going into the show, but honestly, I just something really fucked up happened, and I'm tearing up just thinking about it. But sorry, but I'll get into that whole thing in a little bit. Okay, so this is gonna be my Melanie Martinez concert experience, concert review, and just overall what happened during the show. So I went to the Melanie Martinez show with a couple of my friends. I went with my friend Lindsay and I went with my friend Ariel. So we decided to dress up for the concert because I treated both of my friends to Melanie Martinez meet and greet tickets so we could finally meet our queen who we've been looking up to for so long. So we wanted to dress up because we wanted to leave an impression on her when we met her. So I dressed up as the Mad Hatter from her song Mad Hatter. My friend Lindsay dressed up as Mrs. Potato Head, taking inspiration from her song and also taking inspiration from Toy Story. And then my friend Ariel just dressed up. She took inspiration from Melanie herself and dressed up as a character Crybaby. So she wore a diaper, she wore like the little headpiece, and she wore a bib and stuff. And yeah, so okay, so we got to the Melanie Martinez concert, and the meet and greet was before the show. We got to go into her sound check and stuff. Her security started escorting us to the actual room where we were going to meet Melanie Martinez. And as we were walking, the security looks at us and they go, "Okay, you guys have to be like kind of a little bit quiet when entering the room. You can't make any disruptive noises and all that." And we're like, "Okay, that's totally fine." So we're walking into the room and we walked through these like curtains. They had a bunch of like little ponies on rocking horses and stuff, like the little rocking horsing things. They had those, and they had like I don't know, just a bunch of like really cool designs on them. And we walked in and we go into a nursery. We walk through the nursery room, and at the very end there was a single crib. So we walk up to the crib and we're still being really quiet because the security told us that like she didn't want to be woken up. I don't know what that meant. So we're walking up to the crib and we peek over like the bars, and Melanie Martinez was laying there. Like she looked so beautiful. She was laying there. She had a pink diaper on. She was sucking on a pacifier like she was sucking on the pacifier. And me, Lindsay, and Ariel started bawling tears of joy, like bawling tears of joy. We were so happy to meet her. And I go, "Melanie, Melanie," and she's sucking on her pacifier. She's like, and then the security looks at us and they go, "Go ahead, like take her pacifier out." So we're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, like take the pacifier out." And we're like, "Okay." So then Lindsay reaches over and she takes a pacifier out of Melanie's mouth. And Melanie started like screaming. And she started like throwing a fit and like kicking her feet up everywhere. And she's like, "Eh!" And we're like, "Oh my God, Melanie, like we're so sorry. We didn't mean to disrespect you." And then she like stands up on the crib and like leaps out. And she goes, "I'm just kidding." And we're like, "Oh, Melanie, like so silly." Okay, so then she comes out of the crib and she goes, "Hey, crybabies," and then we all give her a hug and stuff, and like we were still crying, and she's like, "Don't cry, like, don't cry, it's okay." So then she really liked all of our outfits. Like she was so happy that I dressed up as the Mad Hatter, and I don't know why, but she didn't really like Lindsay's Mrs. Potato Head outfit. I don't know what it was about it, but she kind of got like really offended by it almost, and she just didn't really like it. So she looked at Lindsay and she goes, "Take it off." And Lindsay was like, "What? What do you mean?" Melanie looked at Lindsay and she goes, "Take it off." Lindsay started bawling, like I've never seen her so sad in my entire life of knowing her. Like, I've never seen her that sad. She started bawling her eyes out, and she like ran out of the room. And I was like, Lindsay, like, do you guys see me? I'm getting teared up just thinking about it. But I go, Lindsay, like, no, it's okay. Like, just come back. And Lindsay's like, no, like, she doesn't like my Mrs. Potato Head outfit. I stayed up all night working on it. So Lindsay ran out and I couldn't run after her. And then Melanie gets to Ariel and she like loved her diaper. Ariel asked Melanie to sign her diaper for her, and Melanie goes, yeah. So Melanie gets a Sharpie, she signs Ariel's diaper and stuff, and then she, like, the pacifier that she was sucking on, she gave it to Ariel, and Ariel was able to suck on the pacifier. So then Melanie goes, the show hadn't even started yet, they hadn't even let the people in yet. So then Melanie looks at us and goes, you guys, how would you like to be the first ones into the venue? And we're like, oh my god, really, Melanie? And she's like, yeah. So she lets us in early, like, and then we go up and we get barrier. So we have barrier. Like, I was so excited because I was gonna be right at the front for when she performed Mad Hatter, my favorite song. I was so fucking excited. So we had barrier, and then we saw the stage set up. There was like a crib in the middle, you know, her building blocks, Cry Baby. I had the crib and had like the rocking with the horses on top and stuff. So Melanie's show finally starts. It finally starts, the lights turn off. There's like smoke coming out of her crib, and then Melanie's like comes flying out of the crib wearing socks and a diaper and a bib, and she's like flying out and she starts slamming to Crybaby, like fucking slamming. Everyone in the crowd was slamming, like no one was fucking holding back. Everyone was slamming. She goes through her whole show. So it's all fun and games up till now. Like, we were having so much fun besides Melanie saying that she didn't like Lindsay's Mrs. Potato Head outfit. Other than that, everything was going completely fine. And side note, I never like gave you guys closure with that. Lindsay literally drove all the way home and fucking changed because she was devastated by Melanie. And we paid like $300 for meet and greet tickets, and the fact that she had the nerve to make whatever, that'll be something else. Okay, so we were in the show, we were slamming, and it was all going up, like, it was all going really good up until she played the song Milk and Cookies. If you guys don't know what song that is, it's the one that goes 1, 2, melatonin's coming for you. It's that one. She started playing the song Milk and Cookies, and she was doing really good. She was hitting really good vocals, really good stuff. She had a guy dressed up as a wolf on stage with her. So this is where things started to get a little nasty. She got done playing the song, and the band kept playing the instrumentals because she wanted to do like a cinematic masterpiece sort of thing, like a little theater number. So she runs into her crib, and she goes and picks something up, and I couldn't really see for a little because her crib was filled with smoke, but she picked something up from her crib, and she comes back to the front of the audience, and guess what the fuck she brought from her crib? Guess what the fuck it was? It was a gallon of milk. A gallon of fucking milk. So she brings a gallon of milk out. She has the wolf. She kicks him down onto the floor. He fucking like flies. His spine almost gets paralyzed because she like kicked him. I don't know how. She gets the gallon of milk, fucking opens it, pours it all over the fucking wolf, like all over him. She drenches him in milk. She finishes pouring the milk on the wolf, and then she fucking pours it on herself. She drenches herself in milk. And remember I told you guys that we got barrier because she let us in early? That's gonna come back to like play right now. So we were right up at the front, right at the barrier. So as soon as she's done pouring the milk over herself, she had probably this much left. It was still halfway full. She comes right up to the front where we're at, right up to the front. She sees Lindsay, and I think she remembered that she didn't like her Mrs. Potato Head outfit. And I don't know what it was, but like something got inside Melanie. I had never seen her like this. She looks at us up at the front. She looks at us and she goes, ah! yeah. She fucking throws the milk all over us. Like, the milk went flying, drenched me, it drenched Lindsay, drenched Ariel. We were all fucking drenched in 2% milk. And mind you, Ariel is lactose intolerant. So any type of contact her skin has with milk, like, it gets irritated and it could be deadly even. And Melanie should have really thought about her lactose intolerant fans before throwing fucking milk at them. Like, so fucking inconsiderate. So she fucking threw the milk at us. Like, we were drenched. I had worked on my Mad Hatter costume for the past month. For the past fucking month, I had worked on the Mad Hatter costume. I sewed it all myself. Went to so many different Goodwills, like, looking for things to help make it look good. And Ariel's diaper was just from Babies R Us, but still, like, she has to be considerate of people and their outfits and, like, not to throw milk all over them, especially if they're lactose intolerant. She threw fucking milk at us. I was livid, like, fucking livid. Ariel's skin started, like, fucking, like, seeping, like, it was sizzling. It was like, she got all red, her whole face, neck, everything was red. Her skin got so irritated, we had to leave the fucking venue, get in my car, slam to the nearest hospital, and get her medical care. And you know what the worst part is? Melanie didn't even pay for the fucking bills. Like, for the fucking bills. It was all out of our pocket. We are struggling students. We barely have money to afford lunch at school. And we sure as hell don't have money for medical expenses and ambulances and all of that. And Melanie didn't even comp us for any of it. Like, it's the least she could fucking do after throwing milk at us. Ariel is still in the hospital as we speak. I don't know where Lindsay went. I don't know what happened to her. She just ran out after the milk got done poured on her. I don't know where she fucking went. Ariel's in the hospital. I just got home and I just came to pick up, like, a couple extra clothes, change of clothes, because I'm going to be at the hospital with Ariel while she recuperates from milk on her body. And yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is our Melanie Martinez concert experience went bad. It went really bad. We paid over $800 and I didn't even get to hear Mad Hatter live. That's my favorite song and I didn't even get to hear it. I'll be doing updates in the future with our medical stuff and how everything turned out. But for now, I just wanted to update you guys on everything that happened and where I'm standing right now. Yeah.